It's hard for a car company as small as Mitsubishi to compete in today's market. But as is often the case, when things start to look their darkest, a little light shines through. In 2016, Nissan bought a large stake in Mitsubishi, and today we have this, the 2018 Eclipse Cross. Its name is a callback to better days, but is the Eclipse Cross enough to carry Mitsubishi into the future? Hi, I'm George Kennedy for CarGurus, and if you're like me and grew up in the 1990s and early 2000s, the name Eclipse carries a little bit of weight to it. Sure, it's not Nissan GTR or Toyota Supra, but it's one of the cornerstones of the sport import tuner culture. Mitsubishi hopes to capture some of its heyday with this new compact crossover. It has a handsome front end and some sharp angles, but take a look around back. The rear is something to behold, with strange angles all around. The split rear window brings a little Honda CRX, which is certainly good company, but everything else is a little too Pontiac Aztec, which is definitely not good company. Moving inside, the styling is sharp enough at first glance, but look closer and you'll notice a lot of parts shared with Mitsubishi's dated Outlander, like the heated seat buttons and these circular temperature buttons. These could be easy to use dials. At least the second row head end legroom is decent. Two tall people can't sit ahead or behind one another, but most folks will be fine. Behind the rear seats, the 22.6 cubic feet of cargo space is decent, but drop the rear seat and there's just 48.9 cubic feet. That's well behind the Honda CR-V and Subaru Forester, which both have closer to 75 feet. The Eclipse Cross has Mitsubishi's new infotainment system. It's not groundbreaking in any way, but you have the option of using either the touchscreen or this trackpad down here, which lets you scroll through items without reaching up. It's sort of like the Lexus N-Form system, but this one has some serious flaws. For example, there are no volume or tuning dials. Now, it's bad enough not to have a tuning dial, but instead of a volume knob, they have these touch buttons, and they're not even on the proper side of the screen. Trims for the Eclipse Cross are ES, LE, SE, and SEL. The base ES comes standard with Bluetooth connectivity, multifunction steering wheel controls, the touchscreen that I mentioned, and a USB port, which is prominently placed in the center console. The LE adds all-wheel drive, voice control, satellite radio, the touchpad, and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And the SE upgrades to automatic headlights, rain-sensing wipers, heated front seats, blind spot monitoring, and push-button start. Our range-topping SEL test model added leather seats and head-up display, or HUD, which is helpful, but not accommodating for tall drivers. I can't move it completely into my line of sight, partly because the driver's seat doesn't lower far enough. The Eclipse Cross was supposed to be Mitsubishi turning a corner, but at least for a driver my size, it feels like an incomplete effort. That said, the engine is a bright spot. This turbocharged 1.5-liter four-cylinder engine makes 152 horsepower and 182 pound-feet of torque, sent through a continuously variable transmission. The CVT manages power well in most driving situations, and acceleration is decent. And if you want a sportier feel, there's a manual mode and steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. Though for a CVT, all of that does feel a little silly. But that's okay, we can live with silly. There's also Super All-Wheel Control, which is Mitsubishi's name for all-wheel drive. And this little button down here lets you switch between auto, snow, and gravel drive modes. Honestly, most folks will leave it in auto, and some might put it into snow when they need it. Steering is well weighted, but there's a lot of body roll once you turn into a corner. It's still better than its larger sibling, the Mitsubishi Outlander, but doesn't measure up against supposed rivals like the Ford Escape and Mazda CX-5. In all, this would be fine for commuting and well suited for city driving. The most efficient version of the Eclipse Cross is the ES with front-wheel drive, returning fuel economy of 26 miles per gallon city, 29 highway, and 27 combined. The SEL with all-wheel drive returns fuel economy of 25 miles per gallon city, 26 highway, and 25 combined. Now, real-world driving will vary, and in our week of combined city and highway driving, we found fuel economy of 18.2 miles per gallon. The Eclipse Cross comes standard with a reversing camera and a full array of airbags. And you can also get it with driver assistance features like forward collision avoidance, lane departure warning, and adaptive cruise control. You can also get blind spot monitoring with rear cross traffic alert, but for added coin. The 2018 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross has a base MSRP of $23,295, and you can add all-wheel drive for just $600 more. Our range-topping SEL test model with options and add-ons clocked in at $32,310, which feels like a lot for all the shortcomings I mentioned. The Eclipse Cross shows some serious potential, but unfortunately this model year showcases the underwhelming legacy of the past 15 years. Sure, it's got decent acceleration and Apple CarPlay, but you're going to have to be better than that to compete in the modern compact SUV market. The fact that it has Eclipse in the name only serves to remind enthusiasts just how far Mitsubishi has fallen. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to see more videos, like our review on the Mitsubishi Outlander. If you think I'm wrong, and that the Eclipse Cross can compete with other compact SUVs like the Ford Escape and Mazda CX-5, let us know in the comments. And to read my full review on the 2018 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, go to CarGurus.com.